ओम श्री साई राम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम। राम राम राम। राम राम राम। श्री राम राम राम। पाप कटे दुख मिटे लेत राम नाम। भव समुद्र सुखद नाव एक राम नाम। परम शांति सुख निधान मंत्र राम नाम। निराधार को आधार एक राम नाम। मात पिता बंधु सखा सब ही राम नाम। भक्त जनर जीवन धन एक राम नाम। ओम श्री साई राम। The human mind today has forgotten to love. What could be the greatest loss of blessings for humanity? That we have forgotten the very essence of our existence. There's love lost even between mother and child, between husbands and wives, between brothers and sisters. Forget other relations, the nation and religion. That is all. Everything has become commercialized because of Swami says, you are what your mind is. Today, our minds have become calculating minds. In every relation, every situation, every sphere of society, even love is calculated. It is the fact. We have to accept it. And calculating minds just cannot love. Because love, by definition, is giving and forgiving. Calculating minds can neither give gracefully nor forgive gracefully. Even while giving, they will be calculating. Forget giving, even while receiving, they are calculating how much they will have to give back. The latest fashion is you give a gift, then you get a return gift. Even the gifts are to be calculated. Nothing is done without calculation. Commercialization of religion, commercialization of politics, inevitably leads to criminalization of both these sacred institutions. Commercialization and criminalizations. They are two sides of the same coin. One follows the other. They survive and thrive upon each other. And today, our entire existence, our every activity, our every motivation, our every inspiration, even Swami says so called social service have become show and shallow service. That is why the importance of love. We should not underestimate the power of love. Today, we all have love for power. Who doesn't want to be powerful? But Swami says if you can love sufficiently enough, selflessly enough, universally enough, intensely enough, and fearlessly enough, you could be the most powerful person in this entire world. Who doesn't want that one should be powerful, even to serve? But it is said, even to serve, to good to society, love is enough. Because love is the most powerful weapon, most powerful medium. It is not a weapon, it is most powerful medium to serve. Because service is, Swami says, love in thought, love in your words, love in action, and love in your reaction as well. To act with love sometimes could be easy, but to react with love is a real challenge. As I mentioned in one of the talks, when you go to the hospital, we give Vibhuti Sai Ram with love. Even the most angry person, as I mentioned in one of my talks, he would go and say Sai Ram when he is going for seva. But once the patient refused to take Vibhuti, that gentleman got angry. The Sevadal got angry immediately because he could act with love but could not react with love. To react with love is the key to measure the maturity of your love. In every situation, at least I practice that. Everybody has to go through good, bad, ugly situations in every sphere of life, in every relationship. But I go back to myself and ask myself, what would Buddha do in this situation? How would Buddha react? How would Ramakrishna Paramahansa react? How would Ramana Maharishi react? How would Satyasai react? How would love react? That solves every situation, every problem. Aim high, low aim is a crime. Think of these noble souls in every situation. We have forgotten our today role models are of such category. Our role models of such low category because they are successful in our language. So we put their wallpapers everywhere because they are successful in our sense. We do not know their personal lives. Swami says you are not one but three persons. One, what you think you are. The other, what people think you are, and third, what you really are. And you are what your mind is. Calculating minds neither can be courageous minds, be sure, because they will calculate, they will not take any risk. So, calculating mind can neither be courageous minds nor compassionate mind, because they will calculate everything. Nor even creative minds, they cannot be creative either. Only loveful minds could be courageous, creative, and compassionate minds. Swami said you should have head of Adi Shankara, heart of Buddha, and hands of Janaka. That brilliance of Adi Shankara, enlightened mind, enlightened soul. The heart of Buddha, the enlightened heart, hands of Janaka. When your mind and your heart is enlightened, your hands would do only enlightened seva. Then your seva will not be so and shallow service. It will be a spiritual sadhana. Today, humanity has forgotten to love. We cannot love our own children. We plan their lives, keeping in mind their future jobs, their future business, their savings, their earnings. That is our limitations, as if we are born to earn and accumulate. What a foolish idea, and we call ourselves progressive. Is this our progress? We call our foolishness as our progress. Our entire purpose of life we have reduced to earning and accumulating and spending. Just if we introspect, sit back and think, is it not utter foolishness? And what cost? Cost of our own health, our own happiness, happiness and health of our entire family, our relationships, our friendships, even our joy. We sacrifice our joy, our happiness, everything. And then, as a substitute, we go for cheap entertainment. Because we don't get enlightenment, we go for cheap entertainment. Our substitutes are of no value at all. They are worthless substitute. They have no fragrance. They do more harm to our mental health, to our emotional health. They give us some kick. Swami has demonstrated that even entertainment can be enlightenment through his students, through his sevadal, through his devotees. Swami told once a VIP in Portico, never underestimate the power of my students singing bhajans, my sevadal going to villages and doing seva, and my devotees devoted to me all the time. Their love, their seva, their devotion is balancing all the evil forces of this Kali age throughout the world. And then he said, Kadu, not only this world, samasta loka. They are balancing the evil forces of all the lokas. You listen to the bhajans of the students. How many Tukarams, Navdevs, Miras, and Naradas are here? Such melodious, heavenly melodious voice, nectarine voice, coming from pure heart, innocent hearts. They have pure, innocent love for Swami. They are angels. See the Sevadals, they are all Hanumans. Look at the devotees, their devotion. Swami said, don't underestimate. Their very being on this earth as my contemporaries in my proximity is proof enough that they are of this level. Their presence is balancing all the evil forces of the entire universe. Samasta loka, all the lokas. Because man has forgotten to love. We do not, many people, they tell me, sir, we want to love, but we do not know how to love. Because love, by definition, today has become anything but love. What we have been trained and programmed to define love as is anything else but love. Love is giving and forgiving. During 1980s, Swami started two programs. One was education in human values in big factories and big industries workshop, and then second was health education door to door. And fortunately for me, I could participate in both the workshops. And during those 1980s, Swami's students came to Mumbai. There was a 3 days seminar on that. I think C. Srinivasan and Kamal Sahani. Yes, both were very good friends of mine. Very Vivekanandas, both of them. They gave one talk. The gist of that talk was on which I did the experiments. They gave from Prema Vahini that we are not able to love because we are always judgmental about others' activities, their words, their opinions, their actions towards us. We judge others so often, all the time. Somebody asked Mother Teresa, I have mentioned, that how you are able to love everyone. She said simple, I don't judge anyone. Stop judging, start loving. We are judgmental about every person, every situation. If we stop judging, we'll start loving. Just love without judgment. Don't even pass positive judgments. Just love. Because today, if you say, he's a good person, I love him, tomorrow you will say, no, he's a bad person, I don't love him. Love him because he is embodiment of love and you are embodiment of love. Love because it is your nature to love. You cannot but love. And love is giving and forgiving. Let go, let God. Because our lifespan is so small, if we just calculate with our calculating minds, out of 24 hours, we sleep normally 8 hours minimum, 4 hours for food, bath, everything, 12 hours gone. So our working hours, what we call working hours, is only half, 12 hours. So if our life is say 70, 35 years are gone only in eating, sleeping and taking bath and everything. Unproductive things. in our language. The remaining 35 years, again, the first at least 10 to 12 years are we are child. We don't know anything except 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Today's modern children, they are very smart boys. So in our worldly sense, at the age of 8, they know Google and everything. But that is only information. That is not even knowledge. It is only collecting information. They have no enlightenment. They have no awareness. They are well informed. They are well trained. And then the youth. Then earning and spending. And then old age. Where do we live actually? If you just try to find out the time and space for actual living on this beautiful planet Earth, this with this beautiful human body which God has created in His own image, with beautiful human mind, the beautiful human heart, our ability to love and to be loved. Where do we get? How many years or hours do we actually get to love and to be loved? To be joyful, to be happy. Why not entire life? Why can't we be happy all the time? External possessions or lack of possessions don't add or subtract from our happiness. They have their limited value, very limited. We should not overestimate. We always do this mistake. We overestimate the items, the properties, the possessions, as if they add to all our happiness. Wise people learn from others' experiences. Average ones learn from their own mistakes. Fools refuse to learn. We cry for those who would never care for us. And we care for those who would never cry for us. Why not love? Be happy, make others happy. Let this be purpose of our life. And happiness is union with God, being connected with God in conversation with our own highest self. We are actually afraid of God, the real God, our own real self, because for us it is an abstract entity. It is a fear of unknown. We don't want to love anyone because we feel if we love, we don't know we'll get involved. We don't have to love financially and physically. Think with love. Who can involve you in that? Who can bluff you on that? Just love every person, every situation before you deal with any person, any situation, and see the miracles happening. Begin with yourself. Start loving your own self. Now, what can stop us from that? And I have found most of us, I repeat, most of us do not love our own selves. Actually, probably we are not given thought to this. Begin with that. Everything begins with self. Self love means does not mean being selfish. Selfishness is lovelessness. Love yourself. Love your body self. Love your mind self. Love your emotional self. And love your spiritual self, your highest self. We all know there is something beyond mind and intelligence. If we cannot imagine that, okay, for time being, let us love our body self. Let us go and actually love like this in front of mirror. I have told many people, I practice it. Love yourself. How many of us have done this? You will feel real joy, happiness. Just try it. Go to your washroom in front of your mirror and just love yourself. You will feel so much energy. In most depressed mood, go to your washroom or your private room, close the doors and windows, be alone with love. In front of mirror, just love yourself and tell, I love myself. I'm so beautiful. I'm embodiment of love. I'm his reflection. I love my entire body self. From top to bottom, you love yourself. You can heal any disease in your body. Try it. Swami says disease is want of ease. Our nerves are not at ease. Our blood circulation is not at ease. That is why cholesterol, BP, heart attacks, all these diseases were never heard of maybe 100 years before. These are all gifts of our so called modern education and modern way of living. Forget that. Let us not even think of that. Think with love. Love yourself. Love your body self. Then love your mind self. Never feel any guilt. Guilty minds cannot be loveful minds. Let go, let God. He decides, He provides, He directs, He protects. Anything you feel you have done wrong, just shift to Him. Because He has declared publicly. Bring your all your sins, your worries, your anxieties, your stresses, your strains, your tensions, everything, and leave it at my feet. I will take care. And take from me in exchange my love, my joy, my happiness, my peace. What else do we want? He is not come to kill our minds, our egos. This God is very different. These are all our misconceptions. He has come to uplift, to enlighten. And once our minds are uplifted and enlightened, our hearts are uplifted and enlightened, we will feel self motivated, self inspired. We will become just next to God. Try it. Jai Bolo Bhagavan Shri Satya Sai Baba Ji ki Jai.